Okay, I want to talk about BioWare Magic. Every time that James Stephanie Sterling says, BioWare Magic, it's like a needle into my ear. Not because they are wrong about their criticism of BioWare Magic, but because they are right. So let's talk about what the hell BioWare Magic is, why it's a term that used to be used quite a bit at the studio and I thought was mostly stamped out, but was used by at least one person during the development of Anthem. What is BioWare Magic? Well, in short, BioWare Magic is this. What the hell is this? This is the hockey stick. And what's the hockey stick? Well, the hockey stick is something that happens in a lot of development where you are going along, not making a ton of visible progress. You're slowly getting things done, but if you draw that line out, your game is shipping in like 30 years. And then at some point, that is usually impossible to identify before the fact, you hit a pivot point and things start clicking together. The volume of content is enough. There are enough systems, things start clicking together, and the game development essentially pivots, and you start getting things done way faster. And this last little jog up, that's what people at the studio are talking about when they say BioWare Magic, talking about the fact that things come together really late and things get better really late. That's terrible, right? Because you don't know what the angle of this thing is going to be. You don't know if it's going to be shallow. You don't know if it's going to be super steep. And you don't even know when it's going to happen. Is it going to happen right away and you're going to start getting things done really fast? Or is it going to be way out in the future and you're going to be slogging through this slow development process forever? You don't know. And that's the reality, is this in triangle here, this part of where you could be, this is lost understanding. If you were getting things done in a reasonable way, at a faster rate, then you would have the ability to play the game and iterate on the game and see what the hell it is you are making. Now, is this perfectly straight line even possible? It's probably not possible. You're going to have some sort of curve. But if you can at least push the angle of the flat part of that hockey stick up some, or make it curve up or something, you are going to gain understanding that you didn't otherwise have. This triangle is just bad process. At the end of the day, what is BioWare Magic? BioWare Magic is shit process. It's putting a name on something that's saying, don't worry, don't freak out, because we know that at a future date, it's all going to get faster and it's all going to work out. But the reality is that working out, that's where crunch comes from. And that's where delayed games come from, because you can't predict with a hockey stick. You don't know where the pivot point is. You don't know what the angle is. There's no predictability there at all. So you're making it up by delays and crunch time. BioWare Magic is bullshit. At least BioWare Magic that is used in that way. If you want to use BioWare Magic to refer to making characters that are evocative or interesting storytelling, great, use that all day long. But within the studio, within the development process, when people say BioWare Magic, they mean this fucking thing. It might feel like I'm picking on BioWare, and I totally am picking on BioWare right now. It's the studio that I have experience with, but the reality is this is how it works at a lot of studios. This is what CD Projekt looks like. This is what a ton of games look like. Because they are having difficulty generating completion urgency earlier in the project, the team is working, maybe not at full capacity, but they're working. But things aren't finishing. Things are accumulating. And it's only at some point where the mass of content reaches a critical mass, or time runs out, or money starts to run out, or the season changes, or some additive gets added to the water, who knows, that pivot happens and the game starts finishing. If you can find a way to get completion urgency into your project sooner, you can avoid this like 65, 75 degree angle up, have a steeper angle earlier, and avoid a lot of the nonsense caused by this. I haven't said BioWare Magic in at least 10 years, but I totally believe that somebody on the Anthem team said BioWare Magic, because the reality is, because of the nature of the way the teams are at that studio, culture has this weird leapfrogging effect where teams tend to remember what they did on their last project. And if your last project was a long time ago, even though BioWare's made 3 or 4 games in the meantime, you're still living in the culture of the late 2000s, even though it's 2017. So if anyone listening to this video works for BioWare and is still paying attention, don't say BioWare Magic to refer to this, because this isn't BioWare Magic. This is bad process. So stop it. Make the process better. You'll never have to say this again. Special thanks to my members. They provide the resources that this channel needs to keep running. If you'd like to become a member, and that'd be really helpful, because I suspect this video is going to get demonetized because I essentially carpet bombed the thing, then there'll be a link down in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you work at a different studio and you feel like this is something that you're doing too, which I'm pretty sure you probably are, then share it with some other people at your studio. Who knows, maybe we can make the industry better. I will see you again soon. Thank you.